uncomfortable, but no one tells you. Growing old is a natural part of life. As we grow older, our bodies change, our thinking may slow down, and our emotions can become more sensitive. With age comes wisdom and experience, but also some habits that are not always pleasant. These habits are not always talked about openly, but they can make others feel uncomfortable. Often, people stay silent out of respect or love. But understanding these habits can help us be more aware and careful. This article is written to bring light to those habits in a kind and respectful way, not to shame anyone. Many older people love talking about their past. They share stories from their childhood, from work, or from raising their children. These stories may be meaningful and important to them. But when they tell the same stories over and over, others may start to feel tired of listening. Younger people might feel bored or disconnected, especially if they have heard the same story many times. The older person might not even realize they are repeating themselves. It's not done on purpose. Sometimes they are lonely or simply trying to stay connected. But when the focus is always on the past, it can feel like the present doesn't matter. With age, many people become more set in their ways. They believe their way is the best way because they've lived a long life. But sometimes, this leads to being very critical. They might comment on how someone dresses, talks, or lives. They may criticize younger people for being different or not following traditions. Some may also complain constantly about the world changing. This can make others feel judged or uncomfortable. People want to feel accepted, not constantly corrected or looked down on. Some older adults interrupt others often. They may cut off others when they are talking, or they may talk over people. This can happen because they are excited to share something or feel they already know what will be said. It can also happen because they worry they'll forget their thought if they wait too long. But interrupting or not listening well can make others feel unheard or disrespected. It breaks the flow of conversation and can make younger people feel invisible. As people age, taking care of the body can become harder. Some may stop showering regularly, forget to brush their teeth, or wear the same clothes for many days. This can happen due to physical problem. Others might feel shocked or embarrassed. Not everyone wants to hear about medical procedures or digestive problems while eating lunch. These topics are personal and not suitable for every situation. Some elders lose their social filters, especially if they are dealing with cognitive changes, but it still creates discomfort. Change is hard for everyone, but some older adults become very resistant to it. They refuse to try new technology, eat new foods, or accept new ideas. They may say, "That's how I've always done it," and refuse to try anything different. This can be frustrating for family members or caregivers. In some cases, the refusal to adapt makes life harder for everyone. For example, refusing to use a mobile phone or not wanting to wear hearing aids can lead to isolation. The world is always changing, and refusing to change even a little can create distance from others. Older generations were raised in different times, and sometimes they still carry outdated beliefs. They may say things about race, gender, or lifestyle that are no longer acceptable. They might use language that is considered offensive today. Even if they don't mean harm, these words or opinions can deeply hurt others. Younger people may feel shocked or disappointed, but often choose to stay silent out of respect. However, these moments can create a gap between generations and cause pain that no one talks about. Many older people become very negative. They may always talk about what's wrong, complain about everything, or point out what's missing instead of what's good. Some of this comes from real pain, physical illness, loss of friends, or feelings of loneliness. But constant negativity can be tiring to be around. It can make family visits or social gatherings feel heavy. People may stop coming around just to avoid the mood. Being realistic is fine, but always focusing on the bad can push people away. Everyone needs help sometimes, but some older people become very dependent on others, even when they are still capable. They may call family members several times a day, ask for help with things they can do themselves, or constantly seek attention. This can be emotionally draining for caregivers or loved ones. It can also make younger people feel guilty when they set boundaries. It's okay to need support, but it's also important to allow others their own space and time. Some older people either spend too much money or become extremely stingy. One may constantly buy things they don't need, or fall for scams. Another may refuse to spend any money even when they can afford it, refusing gifts for grandchildren, not tipping in restaurants, or avoiding paying their share. Both behaviors can make others feel awkward. Overspending causes worry about their safety. Being too cheap may make others feel unappreciated or disrespected. Money habits often reflect deeper emotions like fear or lack of control. Some older adults talk only about themselves. They may not ask others how they are doing or listen with care. Conversations become one-sided, and people start to feel ignored. While this may come from loneliness or the need to feel important, it can still be difficult for others. Healthy relationships require balance. Everyone wants to feel heard and valued. When one person always talks and never listens, others may avoid spending time with them. This habit is often hidden but very common. Many older people refuse to talk about their health, problems, final wishes, or plans for the future. They may joke about dying. Older people face many changes, losing friends, dealing with illness, and feeling left out of a fast-moving world. Their habits may be their way of coping. Still, they can create distance between them and the people who love them. That's why awareness is so important. They might snap at caregivers or family helpers. Criticisms come easily about food, how the helper cooks, how they sit, what they wear. This pushes helpers away quietly, leaving the older person with less support. Few explain why helpers leave. Hoarding or clutter can fill up living areas. Old things accumulate: newspapers, broken stuff, clothes, boxes, until spaces feel cramped or unsafe. Guests smile when invited but cancel visits at the door. No one says the clutter is the reason. Insisting on old norms and habits can be jarring. You must knock. You can't wear that. People aren't polite like before. Criticisms come out cold and rigid. Younger folks shrink inside and avoid visits, but never mention it. They may complain a lot. The TV volume is wrong. The food is too salty. The house is too hot or cold. Everyone nods politely, but feels burdened. No assistant or helper stays long because the complaints are constant. The elder ends up more alone. They question new ways harshly. Phones, jeans, music. They comment on laziness or disrespect. It feels like judgment instead of conversation. The once warm family atmosphere cools down slowly. The urge to correct grammar, pronunciation, or facts can emerge. Every sentence gets checked. Younger people feel judged. Conversations stop feeling warm. But no one asks the elder to ease off. So the corrections continue. They question new ways harshly. Phones, jeans, music. They comment on laziness or disrespect. It feels like judgment instead of conversation. The once warm family atmosphere cools down slowly. All these habits stem from aging, body changes, memory loss, reduced hearing, sticking to old ways. But the world kept changing. They didn't always adapt. Younger generations sense the discomfort, but fear hurting feelings, so they stay silent. This silence hurts both sides. Older people feel lonely. Younger people feel guilty or embarrassed. Together, visits fade, and relationships become distant. The silence becomes a wall. If you notice these habits in yourself or someone you love, there are gentle ways to improve things. Being judgmental is a habit that can make people feel uncomfortable and defensive. When we constantly judge others or their choices, it can create tension and make others feel like they're not good enough. People may start to avoid us or become more distant if they feel like they're always going to be judged. Not adapting to change can be uncomfortable for others. When we're resistant to new ideas or ways of doing things, it can create tension and make others feel like they're not being heard. People may start to avoid us or limit their interactions with us if they feel like we're not open to new ideas or perspectives. Being overly critical is a habit that can make people feel uncomfortable and defensive. When we constantly point out what's wrong with others or their choices, it can create tension and make others feel like they're not good enough. People may start to avoid us or become more distant if they feel like they're always going to be criticized. Laughter can ease tension and help open hard conversations. Educate gently. Explain why certain words are no longer used, or why some opinions may hurt others. Encourage new things. Invite them to try new foods, use new tools, or join new groups. Changes easier with support. Talk about hard things with love. Don't avoid conversations about aging, health, or death. Do it with care and honesty. Getting older is not easy. It comes with challenges that younger people may not fully understand. But being old doesn't mean being difficult. Awareness can help. When we understand these habits and why they make others uncomfortable, we can work on them. Whether you are an older adult or someone who cares for one, small changes can make a big difference. The goal is not to point fingers or make anyone feel bad. The goal is to improve relationships, communication, and daily life. Everyone deserves dignity and respect, no matter their age. But with dignity also comes the need for growth and self-awareness. Let's talk about these things openly. Let's listen with love. That way, growing old can be a time of peace, joy, and true connection with others. If you like this message and want more simple, helpful content, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. It helps us reach more people and share more love and wisdom. Thank you for watching.